and that's the thing. A lot of people may be like, well, what if this don't work? What if that don't work? Oh, just do it. Get on with it. Get over yourself. Get into it, and have an absolute ball.
Now today on this podcast, I'm joined by Shaun Rogers. Shaun is joining me all the way from Perth, Western Australia. Shaun does the funny and the stage hypnosis, and we bring Shaun in to deliver that part of the course in our advanced diploma course. And so I'm really excited to have Shaun on the line today with me, sharing this very funny and very entertaining skill set. If you are a hypnotherapist out there and you have always thought, I am quite interested in these shock inductions, you know, the ones where you just go sleep and you just go down straight away. Well, this is what Shaun teaches. And he teaches it in a very structured way that is so easy to get to grasp how to do it. Shaun hypnotized me in Perth with one of these shock inductions, and I put it up on TikTok, and so far it's had over 280,000 views, and those views continue day by day. I get more and more views on that video. So I'll pop down in the description that TikTok so that you can go and have a look at it. The Australian Academy of Hypnosis is the only training provider in Australia that is teaching you this way of doing hypnosis. So it is very unique to our academy, and we're very lucky to have Shaun, with all his expertise, teach our students exactly how to do this amazing skill set. So I've got Shaun on the line with me now. Welcome, Shaun.
Hello.
Thanks for joining me today.
No, good to see you.
I'm excited for this. So I thought, Shaun, we'll just start by talking about your journey into hypnosis, because I imagine it's a pretty interesting one.
It's a little bit different than most people's journey. My fascination in hypnosis started when I was very young.
Yep.
And like a lot of English families, like we were, it was me and my brother, and we'd go away to various places with our parents. And one year, I forget the location or where it was, but it was like a Fawlty Towers hotel that we went and we stayed for a few days. And at this hotel in the evenings, they used to have like somebody playing a guitar, and then, you know, the next night somebody would be telling jokes. And then one night they had a stage hypnotist.
Yep.
And all these normal people that me and my brother, as we were young kids, was sitting around, you know, having breakfast with in the morning, and that were doing all these crazy things. And that was it. I was like, what is this about? How's this work? And then that was basically it. Fast forward many years to about 2014, 2015, I still had the interest to do it. But at that time, I'd inquired earlier about the therapy side back in England and things. But that was still at a time when it was heavily regulated. So you had to be a doctor, dentist, or a psychiatrist. So I kind of left it for a few years, but I was still had that interest. So yeah, end of 2014, 2015, I decided I really still want to learn this stuff. Now, I'm not going to be able to do the therapy side at the moment. So what can I do? So anyway, I had a look around. I saw various things on the internet and a couple of books, rapid and shock inductions.
Yeah.
What is that about? And having seen people on the internet just basically drop people, I was like, now this I want to learn.
Yeah.
So then I started getting as much books. There wasn't anybody teaching this around. It was all basically from books, watching what people do, and basically the hard slog of going out there and making an absolute fool of myself time and time again.
Yep.
And then eventually, many times I was thinking, this surely doesn't work. It must be there must be actors that are doing this. I started getting a few hits. I thought, no, this is this is starting to work for me. So then, you know, every time one went wrong and I didn't get the result I wanted, it was a good learning opportunity. So I could go, well, what did I do here? What went wrong? Because when you're doing shock inductions, a lot of it is technique as well. It's not just what you say, there's a bit of technique there involved. And then, you know, pretty much after a while, I pretty much started getting hit after hit after hit. Then I started from reading various books like Orman McGill's Encyclopedia of Stage Hypnosis and other books, how to start doing the actual phenomena side of things.
Okay.
How to get people to actually be involved in an experience. So then I started doing that as well. It wasn't until about 2018 I thought I'd like to do something a bit more serious than just this party stuff that I'm doing.
Yeah.
You know, so I started looking around at different places to learn hypnosis. I tried many different places. Lots of places were just online, very little face-to-face learning. And for me, I prefer that face-to-face learning. I think practicing and being face-to-face with the instructor, having somebody there watching you, is so much better than just trying to do this online stuff that a lot of places, you know, do.
Yep.
So I went to, I remember speaking to Rick Collingwood. I gave him a call. We must have had a chat for hours. And I thought, I like this guy and I get this guy and I get where he's coming from. You know, he kind of speaks my language.
Yep.
So that's when I signed up for the academy. And then it was just a case of going through there until in September of 22, I got my advanced diploma.
Yep.
Once I got that, I thought, okay, let's have a look. A year or two later, here I am now, sitting in my own office with looking after people and clients. So doing the therapy side, but I still do the odd corporate function, doing shows and demonstrations and talks about hypnosis to various people and organizations and things like that. Just
Yep.
to sort of like promote myself and get myself out there.
Yeah, awesome. So talk to me then, Shaun, about some of the clients that you see. What are some of the main things that people are coming to you for?
I do lots of stress and anxiety related issues.
Yeah, okay.
I get a lot of that. I do have quite a few clients for motivational purposes. So things like study habits, memory retention, and things like that.
Yeah.
Had some absolutely fantastic results about that. Because as you know, the subconscious mind, it's an amazing thing and it contains so much information. But sometimes this information's over here, it's over here, it's over here. So through hypnotherapy, what you can do is you can reorganize and put things into place so that
Yeah.
information is more accessible. So I've had great results with study habits and memory retention
Cool.
and things like that. So I work a lot with the motivational things. And my thing is getting a person from point A to point B.
Okay.
So you'll get a person who'll come to see you with one issue, and then you'll deal with that issue, and that issue will be finished, and then they'll be booking in for something else.
Yeah.
Totally unrelated. So my way is not just dealing with the one-offs. I like it to be an ongoing process to get the person from where they are now to where they want to be and where they deserve to be.
Yeah, awesome. And you're quite booked out at the moment, correct?
I've got bookings up to 4 weeks in advance at the moment.
Amazing.
So I've got that. So I find it difficult to find free time.
Yep, you would too.
Yeah. So, but it's not hard because it's my passion. So, you know,
Doesn't feel like work, eh, when you love doing
no,
what you do.
no, not at all. So even if I wasn't here looking after people, I'd probably be going around to someone else and looking after them too,
Yep.
or around at a friend's house doing some fun stuff. So
Yep.
whatever they'd be doing, it'd probably be hypnosis related anyway.
Yeah, it's just
But
in your
this way,
bones.
so this way I just get paid to do it.
Yeah. Very cool. Awesome. Any other sort of main things that you seem to see people for?
Sleep issues.
Okay.
Dealing with a lot of sleep issues. And sleep issues
Yep.
can be caused by many things. So dealing with a lot of sleep issues, I've had good results with that. Obviously, smoking, weight loss, and all your bread and butter type issues that come
Yep.
through. But I've had a few that have come through with medical issues. Now, there's not a lot we can do for them because, you know, it's a medical issue. It's not a subconscious issue. But what we can do through hypnotherapy is make it manageable for them. So
Okay.
it doesn't affect them in the same way and doesn't hold them back. So people with a certain medical issue that they might be embarrassed about, we can take that away, and then they can carry on with their lives, you know,
Yeah,
and
awesome.
just, yeah, move forward without it affecting them in the same way.
Yeah.
So I've dealt with a few things like that. So I basically covered pretty much everything that we need to cover through hypnotherapy.
Yep.
I've got a chance to work with. I like to work with the motivation things,
Yep.
um, you know, working to helping people work towards goals and things like that. That's always rewarding. You know, people, so public speaking, uh, people, driving tests is one that people have a lot of problems with.
Yeah, of
So I've seen
course.
quite a few, yeah, I've seen quite a few people with anxiety about taking driving tests,
Yep.
exams and things like that. So I work with quite a few people through that, and we've had some really, really good results.
Yeah, cool. Because as
Uh,
you know, or we know as hypnotherapists that the brain is just automatically scared of anything it hasn't done before.
yeah, well, and this is it. You've got that neophobia, you've got that fear of new things. And so even during when people come here, you know, sometimes you'll get people and they're a bit skeptical about hypnosis, but they'll give it a go because they've seen good results in other people.
Yep.
So you know, it's sometimes it can be quite a good challenge because you know you'll get a person coming in, they'll be a bit skeptical. Well, is this going to work or isn't it going to work? And then
Yep.
they walk out the door with a big smile on the face, feeling absolutely fantastic, and it's like,
Yep.
oh, there you go.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah,
So that's that side that you do with the clients, with the therapy side of it. And then you've got this whole other fun side of it. So I want you to talk to me a bit about that.
well, I started backwards, okay, like I do with most things. I started upside down. Now, a lot of people start with the therapy side, and the fun side. When I had one of our advanced students come to me one day, she goes, "Oh, when I go out with friends and that, they always ask me to show them something, but I don't know what I can do." I was like, "Well, why don't you just do this or do this?" "Well, I don't know how to do that."
Yep.
But that's how I started. I started with the tricky stuff. So when I actually came to the therapy side of things, it's like it was easy for me.
Yep.
I understood the language patterns. I understood all the different brain hacks and distraction methods. So for me, I started the hard way. I started with with the tricky stuff that you know you get a lot more failure with, and it just made you it just made you more determined and you know harder. Whereas a lot of people go from the therapy side and they'll go, oh, well, I don't know if I could do that. I don't know if I could do that, you know.
Yeah.
But you know, I've taught quite a few people how to do some simple phenomena, so that you know, if anyone asks them, you know, oh, could you just show us something fun? You can do it.
Yeah, that's right.
And doing the fun stuff is great, not only for giving the person the experience of being a rock star or being the world's greatest supermodel or whatever it is that you're working with them, also just watching the people that are there spectating. You know, it's hilarious just seeing
Yeah,
people laugh and enjoy themselves. And as you know, laughter is the best medicine.
sure is.
So just giving people an absolutely fantastic experience, and then you know seeing the audience and the people watching you having a great time, it really is just a great fun thing to do.
Yep.
It's a process like everything else. You know, you've got to start here and you've got to build up to it.
Yep.
When I first started with rapid and shock inductions, it was very hard going because it you know there's no one there to teach you. I was learning by myself, reading books, going out practicing, and I was failing. And people were just I was doing my shock induction, and people were just going, "Now what?" and looking at me, and I'm, "Oh my goodness, what do I do now?" And but then when I started getting my timing right, getting my pre-talk right, then I started getting a lot more successes,
Yep.
and then your confidence just boosts. You know your confidence, and that's the thing with shock induction. You need confidence.
Yeah.
If you're in any doubt whatsoever that it's not going to work, I can guarantee you that person standing opposite you is going to pick up on it, and it ain't going to work.
Yeah, that's right.
You must be fully committed, 100%. I am going to drop you.
Yep.
You are going down. You know, you need to have that attitude when you're doing these type of inductions.
Yep.
So I started off with the tricky stuff, then I went to the therapy stuff, and now I enjoy a mixture of both. So I've got the best of both worlds.
Yeah, you sure
I
have.
can help people with the issues, and you get a great feeling when you get cards and things like that sent to you. You know, it's a really, really nice feeling that you've actually made a difference to somebody.
Yep.
But then I also like standing in front of a group of 20, 30 people, watching them all rolling around laughing. While somebody is having the absolute time of their life doing something that they'd never be able to do in reality.
Yeah, that's right. And I'll
And
never forget when I came to Perth, when we came there for, I think it might have been the advanced diploma course actually.
Yeah.
And you needed a volunteer to volunteer one of these shock inductions because all of the students were a little bit like, oh, not sure about this just yet. And so I thought, you know what, I'm going to have to put my hand up. As the lead instructor here, I'm going to have to put my hand up and say, look, I'm going to give it a go. And so I did. And I'd never experienced a shock induction like that before, ever. And so for that experience for me was just out of this world.
Yeah, it is. It's a very, very different experience than when you're going through a therapeutic induction. In a therapeutic induction, we're basically just guiding the person into hypnosis. Because as you know, all hypnosis is self-hypnosis.
Yep.
We're just there, just guiding them through their experience into hypnosis. Whereas shock inductions, they happen instantly. So instead of slowly just letting yourself go, it's like being hit with a Mack truck.
Yep.
You just go bang and you just drop. And like with anything else, when you're doing shock inductions, even your deepeners have got to be done a lot different, because if you give it a second, the quicker you go in, the quicker you come out.
Yep.
So there's no standing there going, now I'm going to start to count from 1 to 10, because I'll just open their eyes straight away. You've got to do it, and then you've got to deepen it straight away. But when you experience shock inductions, you're going deep.
Yeah. And I just couldn't believe it. I'm standing there, and then next minute you go sleep, and I just dropped. And one of the students was actually filming it just raw on that day. And I ended up putting it up on my TikTok, just the raw video. We didn't edit it at all. And it's had over 280,000 views just on that video so far.
Yeah.
People are so fascinated by that phenomenon of what happened.
But it is an amazing, when you're doing, like a lot of people say to me about shock inductions with therapy clients, I always say to them, when somebody comes to you for therapy, use a therapeutic induction.
Yep.
Okay. You can use shock inductions, absolutely. But wait till you've hypnotized them a few times and you've got them so that they're used to the experience. Yep. Before you try shock induction. Because if you try a shock induction on a new client and it doesn't work, they're going to lose faith in you. And the worst thing is they're going to lose faith in themselves to be hypnotized.
Yeah, that's right. And that's probably more what it's about, isn't it? It's about
and
them.
That's the bigger challenge, you know? So everyone that comes to you has got to understand that all hypnosis is self-hypnosis. My job is to guide you through the process, and then once you're at that nice, comfortable level, I do the work.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
So but shock inductions are a different thing. And then with shock inductions, you've got the phenomena side of it that goes along with it, which is really, really cool, getting people to do all sorts of crazy fun things.
Yep. And you certainly did that with me as well. Yes. Not that anyone will be able to see that publicly, but
no, I can't believe for some reason you did not want to video that.
I wonder why.
I have no idea why. I'm sure Paul would have loved to have kept that video. But either way, you play a great violin.
That was just crazy. I couldn't believe it that you put me out so quick, and then you told me I was going to be like the best violinist ever. And all I remember in my head is my conscious mind was saying, that's not going to happen. You don't know how the hell to play the violin. And then next minute, my arms are just split apart and I'm just fully playing the violin. Like, it was insane.
And it's great and this is it, where, as you know, the subconscious mind is very childlike, and it likes to have fun. And it's like when you see kids playing, you see some kids playing, they're playing cowboys and Indians or soldiers or something like that. For all intents and purposes, when that child is in that moment, it is almost like hypnosis. They are that soldier, they are the cowboy.
Yep.
They fully believe in that experience. And that's how this works. We engage the imagination. We use compliance commands, engage the imagination, and give you a childlike experience that your subconscious mind goes, yeah, this sounds like fun. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do really good. And then your subconscious mind just plays out whatever the scenario is that we do. So it's really good. And people, a lot of people, you know, they have different reactions. And so even if you did the same sketch with 10 different people, you're going to get different reactions from everyone because we're all different.
That's right.
So it's interesting to see how different people react differently to the same type of suggestions and how people experience it. So you could get a person and you could say to them, okay, you do your induction, you've done your compliance command, you've engaged the imagination. You said the next person that walks through that door is Bob Marley. Now, a person walks through that door, one person will say it is Bob Marley. That is Bob Marley.
Yep.
Another person might say that's just John, but he's dressed as Bob Marley.
Yep.
Another person might say, I know it's John, but it's Bob Marley.
Yeah, that's right.
So everybody experiences it differently. And it's interesting how people's minds work to how they actually go through the experience.
Yeah. And see, for me, I didn't see anything. I just heard a command that I was going to be a violinist, even though my brain was saying, no, you're not. But then that other part of my mind, the subconscious, just switched in and just started doing it. And then every time you gave a command after that, it was the same thought process. I'm not doing that. And then all of a sudden I'm doing it. And it showed me as a trainer, like how powerful that subconscious really is.
Oh, your imagination is amazing.
Yeah.
And when you get to understand how to activate it and work it, then you know you can get some absolutely amazing things going on.
Yeah.
And it's I think the last time you came over, I think you and Paul asked me to do the demo, and we got the two girls.
Yep.
And they were both fabulous and absolutely amazing. And you know, even afterwards, they were just absolutely amazed that they actually did what they did.
That's right.
You know, but because their imagination is activated and they're in that moment, they don't care. They are the world's greatest rock group.
Yep.
They are competing for the world's worst dancing championship.
Yep.
I can speak every language under the sun.
Yep.
Whatever, once you've engaged that imagination and you've given them a command that's going to be fun and entertaining for them, you'll find it very easy to get them to act out. If you asked them to do something that was outside of their morals,
yeah, I was going to ask you that.
Not gonna, no. Most people, if you ask them to do something, and here's an interesting thing, like there are people around that will act outside their moral boundaries. So you have to be careful about what you say.
Yep.
So you have to make everything you do when you're doing these type of things, you've got to make it really ethical and safe. Something that they're not going to be embarrassed about, something that they're going to come around and they're just going to laugh about, just how crazy they were acting, and just really enjoy that experience.
Yeah.
But if you ask someone to do something that is outside their ethical and moral boundaries, half the time you'll find that people will just open their eyes.
Yep.
They'll just open their eyes and go, no. But while you're keeping it entertaining, then you can keep them, and you can keep them in the flow.
Yep.
Because your subconscious mind's there to protect you.
So yeah, and I was going to say, people will ask that as well. They'll be like, how can I be sure that I'm not going to do something untoward, so to speak?
Because quite simply, anything like that happens, your subconscious mind is there to look after you. It will just say, no, I'm not doing it. I've had enough of this. And their eyes will open.
Yep.
Quite simple.
Yep.
So you've got to, you've got everything you do when you're doing the phenomena, it has to be fun. It has to be entertaining. It has to be something that that person, they're going to have a good time with.
Yep.
And so when you're working with people and you're doing the fun side of hypnosis, you've got to look at who it is that you're actually working with. You know, even to the point where if I've got a 20-year-old, it's no point me asking them to audition for Saturday Night Fever. They might not have even heard of that movie.
Yeah.
So you have to make it something that's appropriate to them,
Yeah.
that they're going to understand. The more fun you make it, and the more engaged you are with the person, then the more they enjoy that experience.
Yep. Yeah.
But doing the fun side of hypnosis, I really enjoy it because it gives people a really fun experience.
It does. It really does. And even as clinical hypnotherapists, which is one of the reasons why we decided to incorporate it into the advanced diploma, our clinical hypnotherapists, like the girls that did it with being in the rock band and being in the dance competition and stuff, for them, knowing that their minds were actually able to do that was just, it took them to another level as a hypnotherapist.
Well, it does, because it shows you just exactly what you can do, what can be achieved.
Yeah.
You know, it takes you, it takes you on that next level, because we're working through therapy, we're working with issues and things like that. But when you're actually doing the fun side, you know, the imagination opens up, and the things that happen, you
Yep.
know, are more physical, and you can see it happening.
Yep.
And you know, it's entertaining. So I like doing the, you know, I'm lucky that I'm in that position, whereas I can do that side as well as the therapy side. I'm quite comfortable going into doing an office party or something like that, and giving them a great fun time.
Yep.
Because it's not something that, you know, a lot of people think of.
No.
I did this. I got asked to do a talk for a group of psychologists in Perth,
Yep.
and I went along. I did a little show for them. I did a talk. I did some a demonstration of a very quick therapy session, and things like that. Answer some questions, and from that, I've had bookings and things like that to actually do the fun side, because they've seen it. They're like, "Can you do this?" You know, yeah, of course I can do that for you.
Yeah. Very
And
cool.
it's great. It opens up different avenues within hypnosis
Yep.
that you can go down. But it all started for me with the and with the academy, was when I was asked by a hypnotherapist, if I'm out with a group of friends and they ask me to show them something, I don't know what to do.
Yep.
So, and there's so much you can do, even with people in a waking state. You can use a classic term is suggestibility tests.
Yep.
Now, I personally don't like that term, because the word suggestibility, some people will have certain connotations. They'll think, "Oh, does that mean I'm weak-minded or something like that?" So I
Yeah.
like to call them exercises in concentration and imagination.
Yep.
So magnetic hands, magnetic fingers, light, heavy hands, hand locks, sticking people to walls, sticking the hands to the head, and things like this. These
Yep.
you can do on a person that's perfectly wide awake, and give them an experience of phenomena, and you can do it anywhere.
Yep.
And it's like when people come to me here, I've got audio equipment like earphones and things like that. You know, everyone thinks that hypnosis, it's all got to be done in a quiet, stale environment. It's not. I've done this stuff in pubs, clubs.
Yep.
You can barely even hear what the other person's saying to you.
And people are still responding.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
So I enjoy doing the. I'm lucky in the fact that I do both parts.
Yeah. Very cool.
I
Yep.
do it for entertainment, and I do it for therapy.
Yep. So I was just going to share with everybody here. So once a year, we run an advanced diploma course. And to get on this course, you need to have done our first 2 levels, because we progressively teach you what you need to know at each level. And this advanced diploma course, we only run once a year, and we run it in Melbourne. And we actually get Shaun over from Perth to deliver 2 full days of these shock inductions and the stage hypnosis. So talk to us about that, Shaun, and what they can expect to learn on that, and why you would encourage a hypnotherapist to learn that skill set.
Here's the thing. When I'm looking at doing the 2 days, okay, the first thing that we're going to be doing is we're going to be teaching people how to do the so-called suggestibility test, or what I like to call the concentration exercises, the magnetic hands, light heavy hands. And what I'll be doing is I'll be teaching there's a lot of little tricks to make it a lot more effective. So I'll be giving the people the language, the sneaky things, auditory markers that will make these tests work for them.
Yep.
So that's a good place to start. From then we're going to be doing all the rapid or the shock inductions.
Yep.
And then we're going to be working on phenomena. We're going to be learning how to go from a suggestibility test straight into hypnosis by using shock induction as part of that. So leading a person through a simple suggestibility test, concentration exercises, straight into hypnosis.
Yep.
And we're also going to be teaching people how to engage the imagination and how to get phenomena going, so that they can, after the 2 days, by the end of the 2nd day, they'll be able to get somebody and put them under rather quickly and rather easily, and get them to do some fun stuff, and maybe even demonstrate to everybody else something that we may have not even seen before.
Yeah, very cool.
Something really cool, some little comedy sketch or something like that, that's totally new. And it'd be great to see people actually enjoying themselves, being able to do this stuff. And the benefits for people that have done hypnotherapy is, if you can do this, your confidence level is going to skyrocket.
Yep, 100% agree.
It's going to go through the roof.
Yep.
Because anybody can, with a bit of training, can get a person sitting down and just talk them into hypnosis, guide them through the process, and then do some work and then wake them up. It takes experience to be good at it, but it's not an overly difficult process.
Yeah.
But having someone standing in front of you, dropping them down within about 5 or 6 seconds,
Yep.
and then getting them to believe that you're the most handsome man in the world, or you're the world's greatest violin player, or whatever it is you want to do, and have that happen, your confidence will absolutely skyrocket.
Yep.
Especially and when doing a lot of these things like your suggestibility test, there's so much more behind them than simple words. There's all sorts of sneaky little things to add in, little bits of distraction that you can throw in there.
Yep.
And then that will just make them work so much better. And these kind of things, you can do it anywhere.
Yep.
Absolutely anywhere. You don't have to be in your office. You can do it if you're out there with just friends at a restaurant. And it just opens you up to a whole new world of what can be achieved through hypnosis.
Yeah, it does. It really does.
So from the 2 days, the first thing we're going to start off is teaching all the little tricks with the suggestibility test, these concentration exercises, a few of them, how shock inductions work, how to deepen the shock inductions, because that is completely different than a normal therapeutic deepener, how to actually put the person, the pre-talk, which is the most important part.
Yep.
How to do the shock induction, which is basically just tipping the person over the edge. And then how to start to engage the imagination, use compliance commands, and how to give suggestions. So that by the end of it, the 2 days, if somebody is out there at a party with a group of 10, 12 people or something like that, and somebody says, oh, can you just show some hypnosis? Great. Let's put 3 chairs here. I want 3 people sitting in these chairs. We're going to have some fun. And they can just do it.
Yeah, so cool.
Mm.
It does. It really does take your confidence to another level, because I know even for myself, Shaun, when I first trained and learnt, and then I decided to go out and just give it a go. So I was a bit like you. I taught myself how to do the funny stuff as well. And it did. It just skyrocketed my confidence up here, where the therapy stuff actually became easy after that.
Well, it does, because and this is an interesting thing. When you're doing the rapid inductions, the shock inductions, your pre-talk is really, really important, because you're not in a therapy office.
Yeah.
So your pre-talk is very, very important, how you phrase things. You've got to sell that experience to that person. Now, a person coming to you for therapy, they're paying money to be hypnotized. Nobody's going to pay you money if they don't want to be hypnotized.
That's right.
So they're already, before they even get to your office, they've already got themselves in their mind that they're going to be in hypnosis and be doing therapy. When they walk into my office, I've got diplomas on the wall, I've got books over here. Everything in this office has got hypnosis, 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 hypnosis.
Yeah.
So everything that implies hypnosis leads to hypnosis. So the minute they come in this office, there is no two ways they are not going to be in hypnosis.
Yep.
That is why they're here. Everything around them suggests trance, it will lead to trance. So when you're out there in at a barbecue or something like that, talking to some people, you don't have that. You haven't got your little lair set up to entrap them in, you know? You've not got your hypnotherapist written all over you.
Yep.
You've not got your hypnotherapist written outside the wall.
Yep.
You know, you have to learn how to sell that experience and basically sell it to the person that they really want that experience.
Yep.
Because if you don't, it's not going to happen.
Yeah, that's right. And so from your experience, knowing other training providers and stuff around Australia, Shaun, is there anyone else teaching this stuff?
No.
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 It's
No.
all the therapy stuff.
When it comes to the shock inductions, to be fair, I don't know anyone else that does it and knows it. There's a couple of people in England that are very, very proficient, and they actually teach shock inductions on their courses.
Yep.
And they're very, very good. I don't know of anyone in Australia. These people that say, "Oh yeah, I know shock inductions. Yeah, I can do that." It's like, no.
Yeah.
No, you can't. And a lot of people think that, you know, doing like an Elman induction. Now, an Elman induction is the therapeutic induction. It's a fantastic induction. Only takes 3 minutes to get a person from point A to point B to where you need them to be to do therapy work. A lot of people will say, "Oh, well, that's a rapid induction." No. What we're talking about here is shock inductions.
Yep.
Making a person from completely awake right the way down in seconds.
Yep.
Not talking a person into it for 10, 15 minutes. We're talking very, very quick hypnosis. But there's nobody else I've seen, no other training providers that know this stuff, or that can even possibly even begin to teach this stuff.
Yeah.
There are some fantastic people in America, absolutely brilliant. Some absolutely fantastic people in the UK, but I don't know of any other training provider that teaches this stuff. In fact, I don't know of any other training provider that these days even does proper hands-on training.
Yeah, because most of it's done online.
I know, and to me, that's not how it should be.
Yep.
To me, I like face-to-face. I like to experience actual practice with people.
Yep.
See people practicing and learn in person.
Yep.
I don't, you know, you lose so much by just doing online training. And I know people that have done online training and they won't even be able to hypnotize a goldfish.
Yeah, it's sad, eh?
Yeah, they won't stand a chance. And
Yep.
yet, you know, they've done their online training, they've got a certificate, but yet they've never hypnotized a person in their life, and they wouldn't be able to.
Yeah.
Not in a pink fit. So to me, face-to-face training in person is the way to go. And as far as I'm aware, we're the only people that do this side of the hypnosis as well.
Yep.
You know, because with hypnosis, as you know, through the academy, we've got the mesmerism part of it, we've got the hypnotherapy side of it, we've got this part. We cover a full spectrum.
Yeah, that's right.
So, you know, it's the only academy in Australia that has a full spectrum of all the different aspects of hypnosis.
Yeah. And we do that because we want our clinical hypnotherapists to be as successful as they possibly can.
Yeah. And the other thing we do with the instant inductions and the rapid inductions and the stage side of things is it really not only does it skyrocket, it does make you a better therapist because your confidence levels go up. You know what you can do.
Yep.
You know, it really does push you to a higher level. It really does. And the funny thing is I had no formal training in that.
Yep.
I had to learn by trial and error, and there was a lot more error than trial.
Yep.
And it was a trial. And a lot of times I was thinking, I just not, this isn't going to, it's not going to happen. And then it started to happen.
Yep.
So I learned through the School of Hard Knocks how to do this type of induction. But now people can actually learn.
They can learn it properly.
They can learn it from how, in a set way, so that they can learn how to do it. So they can go from learning how to do the concentration exercises, suggestibility test, to actually getting some phenomena going.
Yep.
With people. Even waking phenomena, sticking people to walls, the hands to the head,
yep.
sticking their hands to tables and things like that within a day or two.
Yeah, which is amazing.
It really does. It'll skyrocket everybody's confidence levels.
Yep.
And with that, you know, it will really bring out the hypnotist inside of them.
Yep.
It won't be a case of just sitting there hiding behind your scripts, hiding behind pieces of paper.
No.
It's because it's hands-on.
It just launches you, it just really does launch you. Because I was a bit like you. I learned through having a go. No one really taught me how to do it either. And I'll never forget the time that I tried to hypnotize my daughter to speak in Chinese. And I thought I was doing everything right. And then she opens up her eyes and she goes, I'm not speaking in Chinese. And I went, oh God, well, that failed then. But I learned a lot from that. I learned what I'd said wrong. I learned that I hadn't prepared her properly, all of that sort of stuff. And so I know that now. But you're going to teach people the right way to do it so that they're not going out there learning the hard way that we had to learn it.
No, and this is the thing. People will be surprised just how quickly they're going to be able to pick up this stuff.
Yep.
Because a lot of the people coming through the academy, they've done the certificate level, they've done the diploma level.
Yep.
They've got that experience behind them. This is just going to skyrocket them to the next level.
Yeah, that's right.
And they're going to learn from ground zero, right the way from not knowing how to do this to within 2 days being able to do it confidently and just being able to be face to face with someone knowing I'm going to drop you.
Yep.
You're mine.
Yep.
You're going under very fast, and we're going to have some fun. And when you come round, you'll have had a wonderful experience. And it's just a great feeling to be able to do that.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, a lot of people, even in the therapy side, they don't think too much about the fun side. And like we say, if you've got a crowd of people and they're having an absolute ball watching this stuff, laughter's the best form of medicine.
Yeah, exactly.
So you're still doing therapy in a way.
Yep. Yeah, fully agree. Totally agree.
And sometimes when you're doing like sketches and things like that, it's not just the people that are actually performing, the audience as well.
Yep.
Seeing their reactions to various things as well. I'll give you an example. The old classic X-ray glasses. You give someone a pair of cheap sunglasses and you say, everything you put on these glasses, these are magical glasses, you'll find that when you put them on, everybody in the room becomes naked. but don't tell anybody. They only work for you. And give it. I mean, you can see people put them on and they're like this, but you'll see if it's a girl, you'll see the guys in the room start crossing their legs and things, and you're like, or you'll see one of them like, like this,
Yeah.
and it's like, guys, it's not real. It's not real. But the reactions you get from the audience are just as good as the people doing the performance, and it's great to see people just enjoying themselves. So I'm lucky in that way that I get the chance to actually go out and do this type of part of the hypnosis. So I can see my clients in my office. I can see the great results that they're having.
Yep.
Being able to move on in life the way they want to be and the way they deserve to be, and getting some phenomenal results. And I also get to go out there and see people enjoy the other side of hypnosis.
Yeah.
Having fun, watching some absolutely ridiculous things.
Yeah.
And that's what it's all about. I think it's sad that a lot of people just stick to one thing and just focus on the one thing when they could really, really just boost themselves as a hypnotist and enjoy themselves so much more, knowing that there's other aspects to hypnosis apart from just the therapy side of things.
Yeah, that's right. And people don't laugh enough these days. Life's really stressful. Life's depressive for a lot of people. And so to be able to have this skill set where you can make people laugh, like that's just next level.
Oh, it is. It's fantastic. I love people, just seeing people just rolling around laughing and crying.
Yeah.
It's absolutely fantastic. And it is so good to see.
Yeah.
When you see people just enjoying themselves in general, it's just wonderful. You've got the people there, they're having this absolutely amazing experience doing whatever it is that you've asked them to do. And they're really in that moment. They're in that moment, just absolutely having some experience that they wouldn't have normally.
Yep.
And then you see the other side of it, the audience just having an absolute ball. And you can guarantee every time you do a demonstration, a show or something like that, the people that miss out are the people that were sitting there, really, because so many of them come up and go, I wish I'd have volunteered.
Yes. Yeah, it's only fear that stops people, eh?
Yeah, because a lot of people have this impression that, look, you're going to turn me into a chicken. And it's like, really, if the best thing I can do is turn you into a chicken, I'm just going to quit now.
Exactly.
There is so much more fun we can have than just turning someone into a chicken.
Yeah.
It's so much more fun. And I've had people say that to me before. They say, oh, no, you're not doing that with me. You'll turn me into a chicken. I say, oh, look, you're completely safe. There's court orders that say I'm not allowed to eat any farm animals. So I can't do the chicken with you. and they're like, look at me like, what? But at the end of the day, if the best thing you can do is to get someone to walk around and be like a chicken, then no. There's so much more fun that you can have. And the subconscious mind is very childlike. So even when you see like kids playing cowboys and Indians or soldiers or something like that, for in that moment, for all intents and purposes, they are that cowboy, they are that soldier, they are that superhero.
That's right.
They are in that moment. And that is not really too much different than the experience we give to people in hypnosis.
Yep.
We put them into the state where the mind becomes open to suggestion, and we give them that suggestion that puts them in that moment where all they are is a rock star.
Yep.
Or whatever it is that you've done with them.
Yep.
And given them that absolutely amazing experience that they just would never have.
Yep.
Whether it be playing in an orchestra, auditioning for a musical, being a part of a film, or whatever it is you're doing, you give them an experience that they just would never have.
Yep, I know. And I would encourage anybody, if you ever get a chance with a proper hypnotist like Shaun, to experience that fun hypnosis, do it, because it changed me. It changed what I thought I was capable of doing. And I even think it took my confidence to another level. Even though I was doing stupid stuff and I knew everybody was laughing at me, just knowing that there was that part of me that was accessed just blew my mind.
But it's like when you're doing this thing, you know, you don't tend to worry about too much about people laughing at you or anything like that, because we use that as part of it. And
Yep.
anytime anyone claps or laughs, you can just help that, use that to go deeper. You can use that to enhance your experience.
Yep.
And the more people laugh, the better you'll be.
Yep.
You know,
And I think that when you pulled me out of it after I'd done the silly violin and all the other things I'd done, I think you said to me I wouldn't remember anything. For a moment, I won't remember anything until you do something. And so you brought me out and I was just like, I was a bit dazed, as if to say, what just happened? And then you must have said something or did something, and all of a sudden everything just came back of what I'd just done. I just could not stop laughing.
Yeah, that's that's an old classic one. Is basically you do, well, once you work with your volunteers, you get them to forget everything.
Yep.
Forget them to get everything until they take a seat back in their chair. As soon as they take a seat back in their chair, every stupid and ridiculous thing they've just done will come flooding back to their mind.
That's what happened
And
to me.
so it's a delay. So people like walk off, they're like, what happened? And then they sit down and it hits them.
Yeah.
And it's great to see. It's great to see, you know?
It was very cool.
Yeah, you can have some real fun with it.
Yeah.
You have some real fun with it.
Yeah.
It's interesting how people afterwards, some of the when you talk to people that you've done this with afterwards, how their experience was. You know, some people say, no, it wasn't real, but I couldn't help myself. You told me I was this, so I was, you know, even though they knew they weren't, they couldn't help themselves, because you put them into that moment. You've engaged the imagination, you've given them a scenario, you've put them into that scenario, and their subconscious mind is going, yay, this is going to be fun. We're going to do this. We're going to have fun. No different than your kids playing cowboys and Indians or something. For all intents and purposes, you're in that moment and you don't care about anything else. Everything else is gone. Just in the moment. And as the subconscious mind, it likes to have fun. It likes to be entertained.
And I think that's what it did for me. It brought that childlikeness back out in me, because being a trainer and doing all of that with the academy and stuff, there's a lot of seriousness that needs to happen with all of that. And so to be able to experience that and just be a child for a moment was just so refreshing.
Yeah, it is. It's great. It's like having the greatest dream and actually living it out, like a lucid dream. You know, you feel like you're actually there. You're doing it, but you are doing it. So it's a wonderful experience. But I know that every time I do things like this and do a demonstration or do a show and do some fun stuff with people, you know, even though people are reserved about participating, you know, and they just want to sit there and watch, you can guarantee the next time everyone's putting their hand up because they now want to experience it.
Yeah, that's right.
Well. And a lot of people will go, oh, I wish you would have volunteered. I wish you would have volunteered. Go next time. Next time you can.
Yeah. So
because
sorry, go.
No, please.
I was just going to say, talk to everybody about what you're doing with the fun side, like, because you're in Perth, talk to everybody about where you're located, what you'll do with people with that fun side.
So what I'm doing at the moment is I have my office down in Mandurah, which is south of Perth. So I have my office down here. So I do the therapy side of things down here. It's my basic hub of operations where I can come, I can do some work and, you know, think and process things myself. But with the fun stuff, things like private parties, as long as there's a lot of people, because the more people you have, the more fun you can have, because you're going to get a more choice of volunteers. You're going to be able to pick the people that are reacting best and keep them. So the bigger the better. So doing that, I've done like group shows for groups of people. So I've done a few of them. I've got some parties lined up, large parties. I've got some charity ones that I'm going to be doing, so some charity shows. So I'm open to doing these type of things as long as there's enough people, as long as it's going to be fun, and also fun for me.
Yep. So what's
Because
your minimum number of people, Shaun, that you would do one of those sort of parties with?
look, I've done shows with. I've actually gone and done demos and shows with people for about 10 people. You know, and I've been lucky that I've managed to get some really good performers out of there.
Yep.
The more people, the general rule of thumb is the more people you have, when you do your induction, your induction's done somewhat different when you're doing a group of people for like a stage show.
Yep.
It's a bit like a progressive muscle relaxation, but it's done a lot quicker because you haven't got time, because people get bored.
Yep.
No one wants to sit there for 10 minutes going, oh, wait, when are you going to do some fun stuff? This
Yeah.
is boring, you know? They switch off. So it's got to be entertaining. So your induction's actually like quite quick. So similar to a progressive muscle relaxation, but done a little bit differently.
Yep.
And the idea is you're talking the person into hypnotizing themselves and seeing who goes. So the more people you have, the more volunteers you're going to keep. The more volunteers you're going to keep, the more you can do with them.
Okay.
So I've done shows for as less as 20 people, but ideally you want at least 60 people.
Okay.
And then out of that 60 people, you're probably going to get about 7 to 8 people that are really responsive.
Yep.
And that are doing well. And them are the ones you're going to be working with.
Okay.
And then it's just a matter of you've also got to look at, you know, what type of people you're doing the show for. So everything I do is kid friendly.
Yep.
It's for family. The whole family can enjoy it. So I don't go anywhere near anything that's risky or that's going to be could offend anybody. Everything I do is just got to be family friendly. So anyone from 6 years old to 80 years old is going to have a great time watching.
Okay.
So I like to, but the main thing is, the more people you get, the more you can do.
Yep.
And it has to be fun for me as well. That's another little thing. So when people ask me to do a charity show, absolutely, I'm going to do that for you. If you've got the numbers, I'll be there.
Yep.
Because I'm going to have a ball doing it, and it's going to be for a good cause.
Yep.
So absolutely, I'm doing it. If it's a large party, I'm going to charge for that. But again, I'm still going to have an absolute blast doing it.
Yeah.
Have some fun. And the other thing that I say, some people aren't happy with it because, but I do like to say, look, I'd like to video.
Yep.
Video the show.
Yep.
If that's okay with you, and then I've got some footage and things like that, so I can sit back and I can look and go, well, maybe that went on a bit too long. Next time I'll shorten that bit down a little bit.
Yep.
Or that was working really well. That had a really good response, so maybe I'll put that towards the end next time.
Yep.
Finish on the high note. So I like to have a record of what I've done, so that I can sit back, watch it myself, and then reorganize it next time and just tune things here and there.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, so I can start off nice and slowly, and with the phenomena, there is a somewhat hierarchy of the phenomena that you do.
Yep.
So always start off basically eyes closed, seated. That's not always going to work. Some people are going to open their eyes, stand up and carry on, and that's fine. But as a general rule of thumb, you start off with simple things before you move on to their standing with their eyes open. So there is a certain hierarchy to the phenomena, which is the easier things to obtain.
Yeah.
So you always start off with that, and from starting off from that, you'll pretty much get to see who are your better performers, who's more open, who's going to give everybody a good laugh, who's really into it, and then those are the people you're going to keep. So the more people you've got, the more choice you've got, the better the show's going to be.
Yeah, cool. So we're going to put down in the bottom of this video how you can get hold of Shaun, whether you want to get hold of Shaun for clinical hypnotherapy, for some help in some particular area of your life, or whether you want to look at some of this fun stage hypnosis with him. We'll have all the details below this video. So we'll probably start to bring it to a close now, Shaun. Was there anything else that you wanted to share before we finish up today?
I'd just like to say anyone who's done the diploma level of the course, who really wants to take it to that next level, get yourself down to that advanced diploma course, and you will be, after that is finished, you will be absolutely amazed at how much after learning this stuff, how much your confidence is going to skyrocket.
Yep, fully
it's going
agree.
to take you to a whole new level.
Yep. And we're so lucky to have Shaun to be able to come participate, be one of our lead trainers in this, so that you're learning from one of the best. You've got to remember, Shaun's out there every day doing this type of hypnosis. He's mastered it. He's taught himself, and then he's mastered exactly how to do it. So you are so lucky and so privileged to be able to learn from him in this.
Oh, thank you.
No, I really mean that, Shaun. I'm not just saying that as a promotion. Like, that's why we get you in, because you are someone that knows what you're doing when it comes to this fun side, when it comes to the shock inductions. Yeah, that's your forte. You've got a brilliant character for it. You've got a brilliant personality for it. And that's all part of it as well. Someone that's wanting to go into stage hypnosis full time into a career doing that, you have to have a particular character and personality, eh?
But I'll leave you with something that struck me, and something that one of the highlights of the last time that I was teaching this stuff for you.
Yep.
Was one of the advanced diploma people who'd never done this before. During the session, when everyone's practicing and we're walking around observing and answering questions and stuff, she came up to me in tears. She was crying, and she came up to me and grabbed hold of me and hugged me. And I thought, what is wrong?
Yeah.
What's going on? So I've moved her. I says, are you okay? What's up? She's crying her eyes out. She goes, I stuck somebody to the wall. I was like, beautiful.
Yeah.
She was so overcome that she was able to do this and get a result, that she was in tears. And it was great to see. And I'm thinking, she's going to be wandering around now, sticking everybody to everybody. And sticking people to chairs, sticking people to walls and things like that. It's going to be absolutely, there's no stopping her now. She's on a mission.
Yeah, that's so cool. And that's what it was like at the advanced diploma, wasn't it? Like, once you taught this stuff in Perth, then they partnered up and they were just dropping each other left, right, and centre. Like, it was just amazing to watch.
Oh, it was great. It was fantastic. But, you know, like, once you learn this, how to do this, you know, it's really, because people are going to be taught the correct process, not like me going out there learning from books and videos and just having to learn it myself because there's no one there to guide me.
Yep.
You know, they can learn basically from my mistakes, and also because they're learning from me, everyone's going to be able to bring their own into this as well.
Yep.
So everyone's going to learn this stuff. They're going to be doing stuff way above what I do, because not only are they going to get my information and the way I do things, they're also going to bring their own personalities and their own experience into this side of hypnosis. And they're going to be doing some absolutely hilarious, phenomenal stuff.
Yeah, and that's what we want, isn't it? We just want to give people the confidence and the right skill set so that they can go out there and do this.
Oh, absolutely. And even if people think they can't, the way I see it is, here's the thing: if I can do it, anyone can do it.
Yep.
You know, if
I say the same thing.
Anyone can do it.
Yep.
And like I say, when that lady came up to me and she was crying, I thought there was an issue. She wasn't. She was just absolutely so overwhelmed that she'd managed to stick somebody to a wall, hand to the wall, and he couldn't get his hand off.
Yep.
And she was just absolutely couldn't believe that she was able to do that.
Yeah.
But, you know, we taught the process. We showed her how it's to be done, how to engage the imagination, the pattern that you use, the pacing, the leading, all the little subliminal words that you throw in there to make this work.
Yep.
All the little mind hacks that you throw in. and she got it working for her, and she was absolutely overwhelmed by it. And this was her first time trying this.
Yeah.
And she got some bloke stuck to a wall, and she was just like overwhelmed.
Yeah.
And it was great to see. It was great to see
So
people
cool.
actually getting success out of this and actually being able to do it. Things that when we first demonstrated it, because none of the academy had seen this before. When you came up, the first one, the one that had lots and lots of views, that one,
Yep.
and I demonstrated it. Nobody had ever seen that before.
Yeah.
So when they were just like, oh my goodness, and that's a reaction you get. He's oh no, I couldn't do that. Oh no. But guess what? I can do it. They can do it.
Yeah, it's a set of skills that you learn, isn't it? Just like
And-
clinical hypnotherapy, set of skills that you learn.
Yeah.
Just like mesmerism, magnetism, set of skills that you learn. This stuff all can be learned. Even if you're sitting there now thinking, I could never learn that, you can.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And through the academy and through the last couple of courses where I've been teaching this stuff, we've proved that people can.
That's right. That's exactly right. And if you want to see some of that, get on my TikTok. I'll put the link in the bottom of this video. Have a look and you can see that actual video. There's a few of them on there where Shaun is just dropping me, where I'm hypnotizing a young fella doing some crazy, silly things. This stuff is being done and can be done.
It's just a real shame that you didn't actually video the first time that I did some fun stuff with you.
I know.
Because that was actually quite a good show. You were pretty special.
But I would have looked like a lunatic on video, I imagine.
No, you would have looked wonderful. You would have looked wonderful. And you'd be able to watch it back and go, I can't believe I did that. That's brilliant. I love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
I can
I
certainly
remember
remember all of it.
Yeah, I remember doing it with two of the girls at one of the last ones. So one of them, the first thing they did next day was watch it again and again and again because they thought it was so good.
Yep.
They just wanted to watch themselves doing this stuff because they were like,
Yep.
I can't believe we did this,
That's
but they
it.
did. And they had an absolutely brilliant time.
And we
Absolutely
filmed all of that. So I'm putting that up as part of the advanced diploma course. So that whole stage show will go up as part of that so that every student that signs up will get access to that and be able to see that proper stage show being done in Perth.
Yeah, and that one as well, that when they watched that, bear in mind, that wasn't anything really planned.
No, not at all.
Because how that one came about was that a lot of the students were going through their assessments and they were a bit nervous and worried about, doing their assessments, which they didn't need to because they were all absolutely wonderful.
Yeah.
So, panic over absolutely nothing. They all did
Yep.
fabulous. But what happened was, just to break the tension, I thought I was going to do that on a Friday. But Paul came and said, can you do this afternoon? And I was like, well, what do we do? So we just picked a couple of things out of the hat, tried to get some music, just pull on YouTube. Right, I tell you what, we'll use this. And then we had some sound issues with the reception that we had because
Yep.
it wasn't really planned. When people watch that, just take in mind, it's an impromptu demo. It's on the fly. So it shows you just what you can do just without
once you know these skills.
Just going out there and going, oh, can you do as quick? Yeah, all right, let's do it. I tell you what, let put this music on, we'll just go for it. And you can do that without having to plan, rehearse, organize. It was just done with a couple of hours notice.
Yep.
Hence the fact impromptu.
That's it.
And it's exactly what it was.
Yep. Because you never know who you're going to be working with. You never know who the groups of people are that are going to demonstrate for these shows, right?
Yeah. And like I say, and I'll say it again, anyone who has any doubts that they can do this stuff, get rid of them doubts now, because you can. Because if I can do it, anyone can do it. You can do it too.
Yep.
No two ways about it.
Yeah.
So anyone coming to the advanced diploma course that has any reservations whatsoever, you can get rid of them now because you will be able to do this stuff.
Yep.
It may take a bit of practice, but you will have the information and the skills and the tool set to be able to do these type of things that you're going to see in these videos.
Yep. And leading up to those last 2 days of that advanced diploma as well, we'll also be hypnotising them as a group to get rid of some of those fears, some of those limiting beliefs like you've just been talking about now. We're going to hypnotise them to get rid of all of that so that by the time they hit that skill set, they'll be rearing to go.
Yeah, and that's the thing. A lot of people may be like, well, what if this don't work? What if that don't work? Oh, just do it. Get on with it. Get over yourself. Get into it and have an absolute ball.
Yep.
And you'll have a really, really enjoyable time.
Yep.
Because this is the bit that puts the icing on the cake. This is the bit that really, really, these skills are the what skyrocket you to that next level.
Yep.
And then once you've got these skills, you practice them, you'd be surprised just how much you'll be wanting to practice this type of the hypnosis more.
Yeah, that's right.
It is fun. It's enjoyable. You have a good laugh. You know, people around you have a good laugh. People who volunteer have a fantastic experience, and that's what it's all about.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you so much for coming on today, Shaun.
You're welcome.
And sharing your special skill set, and we're really looking forward to September having you over, going through this advanced diploma. It's going to be, I'm just so looking forward to it. It's going to be so much fun.
Are you going to volunteer for me?
If I'm allowed to. Paul might not let me.
Not after last
If I'm
time.
allowed to, I'll be all for it.
And we can video it this time.
Yep, we can video it
cool.
this time.
Right. Okay, that's actually on like a testimonial now.
It's a testimonial.
I've actually got a copy. Yeah, you've agreed to that. So yeah.
But I have to get the tick from my husband. He has to go, yes, you can volunteer. He'll probably go,
Oh no, I'm quite sure Paul will be on my side.
You'll have to get in his ear.
Yeah, oh absolutely.
Yeah, I'm all for that. I love to see what my brain will do.
Yeah, well, let's see in September.
Yeah, let's see in September. Yeah, agreed. So yeah, like I said, we'll have at the bottom of this video all the details for Shaun if you want to get hold of him. Alternatively, get hold of us. We'll be able to put you on to Shaun if you want to get in touch with him. We've got the advanced diploma coming up in Melbourne in September, like we've just been speaking about. There is only one advanced diploma that we run per year. So we have students flying in from all over Australia to come to this course. So if you're wanting to do it, get in quick, secure your spot. You can learn this stuff, just like Shaun's been sharing today. You're learning from one of the best. And we are the only academy in Australia that are training this stuff. So once again, Shaun, thank you so much. It's been awesome chatting with you, catching up with you, sharing your special skill set. Just very, very cool. You don't get to talk to many people that do this stuff. So I love it. I absolutely love it. If I could do it full time, I would. But yeah, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right. See you, Shaun.
See ya.